All right, guys. So just a recap from last week's trade. We had the peak, XF8 peak right here, and it got taken out, and then we had another one up here. This was the target, but the reason I entered the trade was my the XF8, sorry, the ExoCloud trend indicator was right here and perfectly aligned for a bounce, but the other major reason why I was looking to take the buy from here was the volume gap we had there. This is a low volume area, and typically in the market, whenever price pulls into a low volume area, you always expect a reaction. And since the overall trend was bullish, it made sense to take a buy from a volume gap like this that's in line with the overall trend. And since the XF8 indicator already indicates a peak to target, that was why I took the trade from here. And the target was to hit the peak. So this trade was posted in Telegram. No, sorry, my bad. It was posted on TradingView, and I think I posted it on my TikTok as well, but I did not post it on YouTube. So this, for those just seeing this for the first time, is just a quick recap. And this post is actually on. This is the post from TradingView. So price almost made it to the XF8 peak before pulling back. We had the news on Friday. So this video really is the aftermath, like how we're going forward with the trade, what to do next. Because now this trend is pretty much done. So for those wondering where we're going next with gold, that's what this trade that we're about to analyze is really going to be focused on. So this is the current chart right now. This is live. And I already marked out, I used the volume profile to mark out some key areas, but I think I'm just going to hide that for now. So this is my trend indicator. It's called ExoCloud. I use that for guidance with regards to trend. And this is the 1 hour time frame, and we're in gold. This is the main gold contract, GC1, and this was the trade from last week, from earlier. This is one from last week. We got in right here, and we targeted the EXO peak, the XF8 peak. We came all the way. We didn't quite reach the exact top, but it was a good trade overall. So after the news on Friday, we lost that value area. So I'm gonna pull up the volume profile for last week. Yep, as you can see, we were ranging. Bring this down here. We were ranging in this volume area for quite some time, and if it spent enough time in here, would have likely gotten a D profile on the volume profile. But after the news, the trend broke, and we broke out of the value area, and we didn't just break out of it; we stayed out because it was an aggressive sell-off. So the daily chart is still bullish, so I was expecting a continuation up, but the news kind of changed the sentiment a little bit, and it also coincided with the tweets, the famous tweets that came out between the White House and the whole. I don't want to go into all of that, but anyway, there were some tweets that came out about this time. We coincided with the news and all of that over the weekend. We sold off on Friday from the news, and we lost this value area. So when you lose a value area, especially when it's balanced like this, what you're looking for is price typically would be looking to go and settle in a previous area where it was balanced, because at every point in the market, buyers and sellers are trying to reach a fair price where both parties can transact, and that's where big money can do the highest volumes. Because if there's no volume, you can't move money. So institutions are looking for places on the chart where there are high volumes traded, and that's where they can easily do a lot of volume without possibly moving price too much. And so we were up here. If we measured this, we were in this range for 4 days, so almost a week. And before we went up there, if you look, let me pull up the previous profile. Yep, so that profile right there, if we look at how long we were in this range before we broke out, we're in this range for 12 days, so almost 2 weeks. That's a long time. So we're in here for 2 weeks before we broke out. As you can see, once we left this area of value, we came up here and then tried to establish a new area of value. And now that we've lost that, where do you expect it to go is to find a previous area of value, which is right here. So the first thing I was looking for when price was dropping to see how it was going to react once we got to this price point right here. We got an initial, a little bit of reaction, but it fell through because the selling was so aggressive. It fell through, and then we immediately broke back out above it again. It retested the top. I think I should put a line so that can be a little bit more visual. Just a moment. So if I put a line right here and we go down, and let's zoom in a little bit. You can see the first time we tested it, it didn't give much of a reaction. It fell through. But when it got back above it, it retested. This is a 1 hour candle. So this is about 5 hours retesting this high to show you how significant it was before we then pushed up. And that was this was a Monday after we opened, because we closed down here. This was on Sunday, Friday. So Sunday coming into Monday, we pushed up into the cloud. So the original reason we took the trade was the gap in the volume, which also aligns with the fair value gap. If for those trading ICT, it aligned with this gap. Since we've lost that gap now, we've lost the gap, this gap right here. Let me bring the volume profile back up. Since we're falling through this gap right here, we came down here. Usually the price could try to do a retest, come back up and retest this value area low and try to get back above it. But it has to make it through this gap first. If it can't even make it through this hole right here, there's no way it's going to get up here. So typically if you want to do a scalp or take like a quick trade, you could short the first test of these gaps, like this volume gaps. And I think even for those trading ICT, whenever you lose a fair value gap, and then I don't know what they call it, and call it inverted fair value gap or something like that, but whatever. Here in this new trend coming down, there's another gap right here if you were going by gaps on the candle, but this is the real gap in the volume right here. And then this is the first reason to take a sell. We're selling from this because from here all the way down here is a range. That's a whole distribution right here. This is a volume profile. It has a big dip right in the middle. So this is a node and this is another node. This is a high volume node, and this is a high volume node. These are points where a lot of volumes were transacted. So it's natural for price to gravitate towards these points. So in addition to breaking out of this area right here, you can see it's one of the first, it retested this area first, which has high volume, coincides with the previous week. So it's like there's a whole lot of confluence right here. This is a very, very busy, high traffic area that you can expect a lot of action going on. So what do we do now? How do we trade this? That's the purpose of this video. So that's what we're trying to see here. So if we were to stick to just this time frame, this is a 1 hour chart. If we wanted to just go by volume, since we've started a downtrend here, once we pull into the XO cloud, we want to take a sell. And I usually like to take the first bounce, like the first pullback into the cloud after a new trend starts. I like to take the very first sell, which is what's happening right now. I took the sell, as you can see, but it's supposed to be, I'm still watching it. I'm going to move the stop loss in a little bit right here. Hopefully it doesn't shoot up. But the sell is a risky sell. Reason is a risky sell. Risky sell. It aligns with a lot of confluence, but the daily time frame is still bullish. So this is actually a counter trend. So, but I took the trade simply because it was coming back into that gap for the first time, like I said. That was the first time testing the gap, so I was expecting a reaction and to just take a quick scalp off of it. So that's what this trade is, but it could still play out to turn into a full-on sell-off. So that's why I still have it open. This is a daily chart, as you can see, and where the cloud is green on the daily chart, which means we're on a strong uptrend because gold has been bullish for a while because of all the crazy stuff that's been going on around the world. There's been fueling gold for investors looking for a safe haven for their cash. So we're still in an uptrend, and as you can see, literally just this should be the Monday candle just tapped into the top of the trend, the XO cloud. Literally just tapped it and bounced from there. So we closed here on Friday and then opened here. This is the Monday. This is Tuesday. Sorry, this is the Monday close, and then Monday close up here, and then this is future, so it's opening up back here for Tuesday. So I wouldn't be surprised if we still come back down to either test the cloud or form a wick. But I'm not trying to predict where it's going, but I'm going to show what my expectations are, and I'll be reacting to price as it plays out. So we came here just to establish the fact that we're in an uptrend on the daily chart. So typically we should be looking for a push up, and we actually have an exofade peak up here as well. I should put this up here for future reference. We have one right here. So put this back where it was. Okay, so we have an exofade peak up here. If gold this is a daily chart, so this is a really big trend. If gold continues its uptrend, this is where I would expect price to head over to eventually. So let's just wait. I'm calling this right now. This is a gold futures. So this is the target for 359, 3,591. Since this is a daily chart, this could take weeks. If the uptrend continues, because the uptrend is still intact, so we should expect that horse to eat down unless something changes. So yeah, we're calling that right now. So let's go back down to the 1 hours because we're trying to catch the immediate trend since we're day trading, at least I am. So let's go down. It's back to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we're currently bearish on the 1 hour. We've retested a previous area of value. We bounced back up. So that means it's going to do one or two. Either it comes back up, try to retest this previous value area low and get above it. If it makes it, then the uptrend continues. It's going to make it up to the point of control, then target the value area high and continue up. But if it gets rejected from here, we're coming right back down. We're going to come right back down to retest this value area high again. So one of these 2 points has to give way, else we're going to stay in between. So that's why we can't just predict. We have to react because the market and news events will decide which of these 2 areas we're eventually going to trade in for maybe the next couple weeks or months. But the decision is being made right now, and we have 3 significant news coming up this week, actually. So it would make sense to also maybe even be patient and see what the result of that news is, because that will really tell us where we're going. Let me see what the news, let me confirm what that news is. All right, so we're on Forex Factory, and I see, so on Wednesday, we have CPI on Wednesday, core CPI. We also have it on Thursday, and Friday, we have premium consumer sentiment. But this Wednesday and Thursday, I feel it would be the biggest impact on price overall, because it's CPI for the week. So this would definitely move the market. So and that's pretty much just a day away from. That's pretty close. And before big news like that, you can expect price to consolidate. Usually, whenever there's going to be a big impact news. But for now, since we're in here already, and we're reacting to the cloud, and it's red. So if we want to trade the trend right now, we're going to stay in this trend, stay in this trade, and continue selling it to the downside until it flips over. And where it's going to flip over, where I would expect that to happen if this downtrend continues, and if we break back below this this value area high into this volume area, this is a low volume area right here. This I'll be expecting a reaction once we get here, which is coinciding to being at the low of this huge V reversal right here. So definitely there's going to be a lot of like liquidity sitting right here, which is coinciding with the low volume area. So definitely I would expect a kind of reaction from here. But as far as targets, if I was just trying to pick a target, this is what I'll be looking at. This is the point of control, which is this high volume node. I'll be looking at this point of control as a target for price. we have the point of control right here. We have the value area low, and then this is my indicator, the exofade, which is it's free on a Telegram. If you on, it's free on TradingView if you want to check it out. It uses volume. It works with volume and regression. So it has a feature where it kind of predicts or forecasts price points based on calculations with volume and linear regression to forecast where price could be heading to. And usually when it peaks like this, when it has like sharp peaks like this, I always like to target those for price projections. And with my experience using the exofade, whenever you have a peak, the peak always gets taken out to form a brand new peak. And that's exactly what happened here. When the price started to trend, you had a peak right here, it got taken out, and then we formed a new peak. And from what I mentioned earlier, we have one on the daily chart right now, but this one on the 1 hour we came so close to it, but we didn't quite reach it exactly. But if the uptrend continues, definitely you want to go look at this on your chart. I posted this analysis on my TradingView, so if you search for me on TradingView Exo Protocol, you would see this exact analysis there. You can see the exact price target right there. So for now, actually, I'm going to move this stop loss. Let's move it right there. I'm just reacting to price. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. The trend is flipped on this time frame, so I entered where you should sell if you were trying to sell. So that's the reason for this entry, and I'm gonna keep that there and see how it plays out. If it's gonna sell, we already know where we're targeting. Definitely, this is a single contract, so I can't even take partials. I'm just gonna have to close out the whole trade. But if I took this on like on the micro, then this would be like a place to take. You could take TP1 actually from when it says the value area high, because if it doesn't break back below, then that means it wants to go back up. So you could literally shave some profit off right here. And then if it breaks below and stays below, then you want to target the point of control. That's the next point to go. If you leave an area of value and you come back into it and you get accepted, typically it's going to come test the point of control of that range. So this would be where I would target for my oops, let me bring this in. It looks like this was not in view. So this is let's turn this off. Okay, so since we left this area of value and we came back into this area of value, and since we're back in, typically if you come back into an area of value, price is going to go test the point of control of that range, and the point of control is right here. So this is where I would expect a price to retest if we get accepted back into this value area, which would mean we close back below here, maybe close a daily candle, a higher time frame candle like a strong candle, because this was a V reversal that happened. So if we could close maybe a daily candle or so back in this range, then we could look for it to come test the point of control. And let me take this out. And then I'll be looking at the exofade peak. Pretty much this price point from here down to exofade peak is where I'll be looking for a bounce. Because if you want to look at it from a support and resistance point of view, this is also support. But instead of drawing a line yourself, if you're trading, if you're new to trading and you're drawing support and resistance line, instead of drawing a line, if you're letting the market tell you where that line actually is, which is the volume, like this is the value area low. This is not a line that I drew. This is the market telling you where the actual market participants have shown the most price action with where the low of the value area low, like where price is most likely to be rejected, and the value area high, it tells you the highest price of this range that the participants were comfortable with. This is where they want to trade. We're not the ones moving the markets. The institutions moving the millions of dollars, they're moving the markets. They're the ones making all of these volumes, not your little Forex account is not what is doing, making all these moves right here. So we need to follow what they're doing, wherever they're trading at. If this is the highest volume, if this is the price they're cool with, then this is what you want to respect. Let me see. All right, so that's pretty much it. The video went way longer than I anticipated, but let me I want to show one last thing before we go. So this is the developing value area. So whenever price newly breaks out of a previously established range, so this was an established price range. Whenever price leaves, I like to start to track a new volume profile as price action develops. Because since we broke out, you can see now we immediately know where the value area low is, where the high is, and where the where the point of control is. Because as you can see, in addition to the fact that it's reacting to the trend indicator, the point of control is also at the exact point. So that this, instead of me just trading with my trend indicator, which is just one confluence, this is also volume, which is the market telling me, yes, this point is valid. So, and then this is the value area high. So when I take a sell from here, I have conviction, not just from the trend telling me, but also the volume confirms that this is a high. So if I take a sell from the high, where do I target? Target the low, which is why the take profit is right here. If I had more contracts on here, I'll probably only close one here and then set the rest to close when we come down to, I'll close some of the other positions when we come down to this point of control, if we do break below here. But if we don't, if we head back to the point of control, like if we did a bounce, where's that tool? Oh, this video is gonna be so long, forgive me. I'm trying to get the, oh, okay, there it is. All right, so if it tests this the value area low and it doesn't break down, then I would expect it to come back up to the point of control again. If it gets rejected, because remember it's going to be inside this bearish cloud. If it gets rejected, it's going to come try this value low again, which if the daily time frame, which is bullish, doesn't hold, then this is where I'll be looking, this area is where I'll be looking to take my next buy, and then ride it up to the first time it's going to come test this area high again, and then whatever happens here, if it's just going to consolidate in here, we don't know, it could do anything. But regardless, this would be a price point to watch out for in the coming few days or weeks, depending on what the news on Wednesday and Thursday does. So there's 3298. So you want to watch that price. Let me delete this. So if that does not happen, if we come down here, retest this, and we retest this value area high and it breaks above it, it's going to come test this value area high, value area low right here, and come. If it gets rejected, we're going to come back down, retest this high, try again until we break above it or we don't. But this developing profile right now is what would be my guide that would help me know how to react on whether to go long or short. So I react based on how the volumes, whatever the volumes are saying, and where we're at. Are we above an established range? Are we below it? Are we below the point of control, above it? So it makes my trading decision extremely easy. And when I use the ExoCloud, my trending indicator, in combination with that, my trades just become a no-brainer, like this one. And that's why I took this trade. So now I just have to wait to either get stopped out or it goes in my favor and I get a take profit here. And yeah, those are the only two ways this can play out. So yep, so sorry this video went longer than I anticipated, but I hope you got some value out of this. If you want me to go a little bit deeper into any of the concepts that I mentioned there, volume profile trading, or if you want me to, I'll most likely be doing some more videos about this, the trend indicator, and volume. This is a fixed volume profile, and the ExoFade, yeah, no, and the ExoFade is free. You can get this. I published it on TradingView. The ExoCloud is not public yet; it's still private. It's not public yet, but I'll be releasing it soon. I'm just using it personally for now. I have a few people using it as well. If you want to test it out, you want to try it, you can leave a message, drop a message down in the comments, and just ask for access. I can give you access if you want to be a tester. So let's see. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Sorry, this video went a lot longer again, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next analysis in a little bit. Yeah. Thank you, and bye for now.